Hi. Thank you for attending today's reading. Let's begin. I downloaded Reddit to share this true story. When I was 8, I got pushed into a glass table. My sister and I were playing around. My dad runs me to the bathroom and tries to stop the bleeding. He calls for my uncle, who thought this was a prank, 'cause we would prank him all the time. My dad is yelling at him to find something to stop the bleeding gash. Which is when he realizes that it wasn't a prank. Somehow I didn't faint. And when the police and ambulance arrive, I was rushed to the hospital to a place an hour from where I lived. The whole ride was a blur. But I didn't faint the whole time. It was mostly 'cause I was scared of never waking up again. My mum had gotten a call and drove herself to the house in time. So she was in the ambulance with me. My dad took the car. When we got there, I got an X-ray. And the doctors said I had a piece of glass really close to my spine. They wanted to get it out. And so a nurse numbed the gash. It was the worst pain I had ever felt. Every time the numbing needle entered my skin, it felt like lighting hitting me in the same spot. I had an adrenaline rush when I hit the glass table. I didn't feel anything then. They put something in me to make me go to sleep. And I remember my parents at the side of my bed crying, 'cause they didn't know if I'd survive the surgery. I said to my parents, "Mom, Dad, I'm sleepy." My mom told me it was okay. And I could sleep. I closed my eyes. When I woke up, the doctor was looking at my gash, which was stitched. It was located near my butt. I was later told that they couldn't retrieve the glass because it was too close to my spine, and they didn't want to hit something and paralyze or kill me. So I still have the glass in my back. I had a long recovery process. But I'm healthy today. I have a cool-looking scar shaped like a sword. Needless to say, my sister and I stopped roughhousing for a while. TLTR. Fell into glass table. Lived to tell the tale. End of story. Next story. My mother was my high school principal. I attended a public high school in the United States with roughly 4,000 students. My mother has been employed by this school since before I was born. She started off as a science teacher and did that for 17 years before moving into administration. She went through the roles of assistant administrator, assistant principal, and vice principal before landing the big job. She became the principal of the entire school during my sophomore year. Everyone, including the teachers, wanted to be on my good side. I noticed this during my freshman year as well, but it really picked up after my mom became the actual principal. It bothered me because I knew I was a hard-working student who didn't need any handouts. I actually had to ask a few of my teachers to not see me as the principal's daughter and, if anything, to challenge me more for that reason. They did, and it made it even sweeter when I passed their classes with flying colors. Despite that, rumors of nepotism would run rampant throughout my entire high school journey. It sucked knowing that some wouldn't respect my accomplishments regardless of how hard I worked for them. I was the co-captain of the volleyball team, but I never was able to appreciate that position. Because of comments other parents would make behind my back, I was voted president of an after-school club, but ended up giving the position up to someone else out of fear that I would be labeled as a product of nepotism yet again. I do regret that now and wish I had just ignored those who made me feel the way I did. I graduated in 2017. It was special hearing my mother call my name as I walked onto the stage to receive my diploma. It's undoubtedly not something most students have the opportunity to experience. Despite all the laundry that came with being the principal's daughter, That one special moment honestly made it all worthwhile. I wouldn't change my high school experiences for the world. After graduating, I went off to university where I finally was able to escape the "mom as principal" stigma. She remains principal of the school today and is obviously facing some challenges right now with our current situation. That being said, she is an absolute pro at what she does and is doing everything she can to ensure her teachers' and students' best interests. My mother is a perfect mix of professional and fun, and I know that she will get her school through all of this. End of story. Next story. Caesar. It's not just a salad. I went to a fast food restaurant several years ago, and after looking over the menu, I decided on the Caesar salad. I placed my order and the cashier looked at me and asked, "What dressing would you like with that?" To which I informed her, "Caesar." She gave me a dumbfounded look and asked me again what dressing I wanted with my salad. I repeated, "Caesar." She kept repeating the same question about half a dozen times, to which my response was always the same. After a minute or two I could tell the girl was getting angry by the tone in her voice and the look on her face. She started raising her voice and talking slowly like you would to a child, and again asked me what dressing I wanted with my salad. When I again told her, "Caesar," she rolled her eyes and was almost yelling at me. This got the attention of the manager. When the manager asked what the problem was, the cashier told him that I wouldn't tell her what dressing I wanted. The manager turned to me and asked what dressing I wanted with my salad. I again stated, "Caesar," to which the cashier pointed to me and rolled her eyes. The manager gave her a funny look and said, "I don't see the problem." I just shook my head when the cashier responded, "I know they want a Caesar salad. I want to know what dressing they want." "Caesar." The manager looked at the cashier. To which the girl just threw her hands in the air and said, "I already know what kind of salad." The manager then looked at me. As I shrugged, then turned her attention back to her employee. Most people prefer Caesar dressing with their Caesar salad. I could tell the cashier felt really stupid and embarrassed because of the way she hid her face and refused to look at me when she finally gave me my total. I don't know how long the girl worked there, but I can say one thing: she'll never forget that Caesar dressing goes on Caesar salads. End of story. Next story. I had the weirdest interaction this morning. So for context, I'm in my high school cafeteria for breakfast. I'm sitting with 3 of my friends, and we are currently sharing memes. As I'm showing them some good ones I forgot I saved. A freshman, I think, that I've never seen before walks up to the table. We'll call him Camera Guy. Camera Guy looked interested in what I was sharing, so I passed him my phone so he could see. And I could see him crack a smile once he got to the punchline. Pretty normal so far. But here's the twist. Instead of asking me to send it to him so he could save it, he instead, I shit you not, proceeded to pull out a 1990-ish Kodak disposable camera, take a photo, put it back in his coat, and then walked off, all without ever saying a single word. 6 hours later, and I still don't understand what the hell happened. Edit. I still do not know exactly why he brought his camera. But Camera Guy lost his disposable camera. End of story. That is all for today. If you want to support my automated channel, feel free to drop a like and subscribe. See you tomorrow.